How's it going, guys? Christian Jamal here. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to go from $0 to $10,000 a month. A lot of people can benefit from this, but most of the ones who are going to be watching this video that are going to get the most out of it are either people that just got out of high school, people in college, or people who just finished college and are very lost in the world. So if you're 18 to 25 and you want to get to 10K a month as a self-employed business owner, keep in mind, this is not an entrepreneur. You're going to be working in your business, but you are going to get to $10,000 a month. I have a very easy, simple roadmap, and you can get there in simply 1 week, right? So let me hop on my computer and I'm going to show you guys how to get that done. All right, guys, so I created this document for you right here. So it's roadmap to 10K per month. I do have everything listed, so I'm gonna go ahead and read some of the stuff here and then tell you my thoughts on why that is. Now, keep in mind, this is your roadmap to 10K. I do believe that businesses go in cycles. So if you get to 10K, it's not about just doing more of what you did to get to 10K that's gonna get you to 50, that's gonna get you to 100. So for every cycle of your business, you need to build an entirely different business, right? So to go from 0 to 10K, let's just do step 0. I named it step 0 just because primarily it's getting the BS out of the way. You don't need a logo, you don't need a website, you don't need an email signature, you don't need all this other additional things that you think you do. What this is going to do, it's going to increase the time frame that you go from not having clients to your first client, which is going to just make you discouraged. Like, a logo is not going to increase your conversion rate. A website is not going to increase your conversion rate. An email signature is not going to increase your conversion rate to the level where it's life-changing. It is micro percentages that go a long way in long term. However, in order to get your first client, you don't need this. So what you want to do is follow the next couple steps. So step 1, pick a high income skill. There's a bunch of high income skills. I just listed a few off the top of my head. Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, content creation, videography, video editing. It doesn't matter which one you pick, just pick a high income skill and pick a niche for that skill. So make sure that your niche is actually searching for it. A lot of people want to do something that has never been done before, and I don't understand why people go that route. I really do think that it's best if you pick a niche and a skill that has already proven to work in the past and then just do it better than the others, right? Apple did not create the first phone in the world, yet they're the device that is probably most used around the world right now, just because they did it the best. So do the same exact thing within your niche, within your high income skill. Step 2 is understanding buying your way in versus working your way in. Now, if you're trying to get to 10K a month, that tells me one thing. You probably don't have a lot of money in storage. That's why I kept the buy your way in very short. Buying your way in means running your own ads and paying influencers to promote you in order to get leads. That's really all it's about. So I kept it very short here just to have the bullet points there, but I do believe that if, again, you're going from 0 to 10K, you definitely don't have anything that is saved up that you can invest in this. And I do believe that it's very risky to take a business loan in order to do this when you can do it the free way, right? So what you're left with is working your way in. What you want to do is you need to build your list. That's really primarily your goal, and these are a couple methods in order to do that. You can cold DM, you can cold email, you can door knock. I actually missed the cold calls, and then Facebook groups, and then squeezing your lemon. What that means is you need to put in the work. Squeezing your lemon means speaking to your friends, speaking to your immediate circle, and trying to ask if they know anybody that could benefit from your service. That's really what squeezing your lemon really means. So cold DMs, cold email, door knocking, and cold calls are not anything that someone's gonna wake up every day and they're gonna be like, oh, I can't wait to cold call. Oh, I can't wait to cold DM. So this is where the sacrifice comes in. If you wanna go from 0 to 10K a month, you have to do the things that people are not willing to do. Cold DMs, cold email, and door knocking and cold calls are things that nobody wants to do. If you ask me, I'm not gonna personally cold call at this stage in my business. I won't even pick up a cold call from someone else, right? So that's why the problem with this lies in here. So people are not willing to do these because it's hard work. But again, if you want to get to 10K a month, I hope you understand that this process is not going to be super simple, right? You can break it down step by step, and I've seen it done in 7 days. I've seen it done in 14 days. I've seen it done in 30 days. But the thing is that you have to make the conscious decision to go through the rough period in order to get to the other side of the tunnel. So whether you like it or not, in order to get your business to work, you either have to do the things that people don't want to do, or you're going to have to pay your way in. That's it. Yeah, make peace with that fact because there's no changing this. So, step 3, sales process. I want to break down the sales process. I'm not going to go into a script and this and that. I just want to make things clear. So, step 1 is setting the appointment. Don't sell the minute you get on the phone. First, set the meeting. Before you need to talk to a client, just set the meeting. Goal of the first call is to set the meeting. So if you're on the phone and you're talking about pricing, you already messed up that deal. So make sure that when you first talk to an individual, get them to sit with you on a meeting. If you can't sell a meeting, you can't sell a high ticket package. It's that simple. So after you do set the meeting, I listed 2 meeting types, and I did want to put this quote in here. Just that this quote, whenever I was doing a lot of sales, it actually went a long way with me. So it's good salespeople answer questions, great salespeople ask questions, right? So what you want to do is you want to ask questions to get the answers that you want from the individual. So if you're the one asking questions, number 1, you're in control of the meeting, and if you are asking questions, then you can also get people to tell you what they want so that you can just give it to them. So these are 2 types of meetings, 1 call close and a 2 call close. I'm gonna go with the 1 call close first. Your goal here is to pull out the pain points and provide a solution, and then that's it. That's like really what a 1 call close is. Don't overextend these meetings. If you're sitting on a 2-hour phone call, you're likely not gonna close that deal. If you're sitting on a 10-minute phone call, you're also not likely to close that deal. So what you wanna do is you wanna find a medium in between where you set boundaries and timelines for every part of your sales process. And again, based on what your high ticket income skill that you're going to be utilizing, then it will be a different type of conversation. One more tip that I wanted to include here is do your calls over Google Meet or Zoom or something like that where someone can see you face to face. In today's day and age, I highly recommend you to work with people nationally or internationally. However, start with a smaller, tight-knit circle, but you want to put a face to the name. So definitely do something like that, or actually go to the business in person, which is something that we still do from time to time. So the next one I want to talk about is a 2-call close. This is more difficult, but it's better if you are very good at the deliverable. And I put very in capital letters because if you're a 6 out of 10, don't do a 2-call close because you're not going to impress the potential prospect enough to actually close that deal. So the goal is obviously to pull out the pain points and get access to any assets if needed. So get their Facebook page, get their website, get all these other things. Doesn't mean that you have to actually get their logins. It just means that you have to get the general gist of what they're doing. If they're using WordPress, are they using Shopify? Are they on Instagram? Do they even have a Facebook page? This and that. And then rebook the meeting for another time to give your team, or in this situation, most likely just you by yourself, the opportunity to build a proposal/account review. Give them all the juice. Give them as much value as possible, and then get them to basically pay you in order to do that work for them, even though they already have what they need, right? A lot of times, business owners that are in a position to afford a high-ticket service, they're simply going to pay you, sure, for your skills, but primarily for their time. Because if they can afford you, that means their time is more valuable, right? So another bullet point here is collect payment on the call. In working with over 500 businesses, I'll tell you that probably 5% of them said, hey, just send me an email, and then they paid after. So if you can collect the payment on the call, do it, but obviously you don't want to be super pushy. So if someone is extremely focused on you sending them an email and then them paying after, then that is something you can also do. Now, I do have a couple tips here, and these are things that you simply have to make peace with them. Like, some things in business are not gonna go your way, right? Objections are normal. No one that closed the deal just basically got the money and they said, all right, just there you go. Please do the job for me. I have no objections. I have no questions. I have no nothing. So objections are normal. Don't get discouraged. Write them down in your own time and create 3 different answers to each. This is actually something that I did. I had my little notebook. Someone said, I need to talk to my wife. Perfect. Write that down. Write 3 answers for that. Someone said, you caught me at a bad time. Awesome. Write 3 answers for that. Someone said, it's too expensive. Perfect. Write 3 answers for that. And there's a lot of people that you can actually follow on social media that gives a lot of tips regarding these things. I recommend following me at Christian Jamal and following Amel at Amel Kilic, as well as a Gentech account at Gentech Marketing. We simply share tips on how you can answer all these types of objections, as well as more tips on our account. So I'm not trying to sell you on our Instagram. I'm just saying that if you want to get more value out of this video, there's more videos on there as well for you. So this is the next point here, and I need you guys to understand this very, very well. So someone won't work with you for 3 primary reasons, right? They don't have the money. If they don't have the money, they simply can't afford you. It's that simple, right? Like if they can't pay you to do the job, that means you did a bad job at qualifying. It's not their fault that they don't have money. It's your fault that you sat down and wasted 45 minutes or 30 minutes of your time with someone that cannot afford you. So that is one thing that you can learn from yourself, is how to qualify clients better when setting the appointment. Now, keep in mind, at the start, I think setting meetings, even if you know the person is unqualified, is good practice. But keep in mind, going into that meeting, you need to already know that this person is not closing. It's a practice meeting. So the next thing that is under this 3 primary reasons is they don't believe in your service. If someone has the money to run, let's say, Facebook ads, and they like me and they want to work with me, but they genuinely don't feel like Facebook ads is what's going to make them money, you're not going to close them. So they don't believe in your service. That means you did a bad job at showing the benefit. You did a bad job at showing how this is going to solve their pain point. So the last point under this list is they don't believe in you specifically. Your service sells itself, but they simply don't trust that you are the person that will allow them to effectively to apply it effectively for them. So again, like I said, these are the 3 primary reasons someone won't work with you. So again, I'll read them again. So they don't have the money, they don't believe in your service, and then they don't believe in you specifically. Now, when it comes to step 4 is the delivery. I'm actually going to keep step 5 out of this for a quick second, just because I'm going to keep it as like little tips at the end, and I want to keep it engaging and exciting. So for the delivery, go above and beyond, no questions asked, but still set boundaries. It's very important to set boundaries with your clients. It's very important to set boundaries with yourself even, but nevertheless, always go above and beyond, right? We do this all the time. A client's ads are set up, but for example, they need this micro change on their site or something like that. We always take care of that, because eventually that's going to get our results to be better. Now, you set boundaries, meaning if the work is going to take 2, 3, 4 hours, then that boundary needs to be set. So if something can take like 10, 15 minutes, knock it out. Your clients will appreciate that. And then the next thing is your easiest sales are going to be renewals of partnerships. If you're in someone's trust and you do a good job for them, they're going to give you that trust again. It's that simple. So again, focus heavily on your delivery. Your sale doesn't end once someone becomes a client. You're always selling, and you're always helping, and you're always improving their business based on your high income skill. Again, someone's not going to pay you if you're not going to make them money. So make sure that you do actually do a good job at the delivery. So next point is something that I actually made a mistake with when I was first starting with my agency journey, is creating a case study for every client. Every client that you work with needs to be a case study. That doesn't mean you have to make them 100x their money. That means that show how you improved their metrics. Even if it's an increase in impressions, create a case study about that. The next thing is ask for referrals. If you don't ask, you will not receive. It's that simple. So no one's gonna just be like, hey, like my buddy's like wants to run ads with you, or my buddy wants you to film their videos, or my buddy wants you to edit their videos, unless your quality of work is insanely superb. And the chances of that being the case, if you've never done this business before and you have very little experience, maybe 1 year experience, maybe 2 year experience, maybe no experience at all, it's likely not going to happen. But the only way it does happen is if you do ask, right? My dad has this saying, and I use it in business all the time. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So make sure to actually utilize that and ask for your referrals. And the last thing is another mistake that I actually did when I was first starting my agency is show face. Actually speak to your clients. It doesn't matter if your results are phenomenal. Set meeting with your clients. Show them improvements. Show them results that you've done recently. Like literally annoy them with how good of a job you're doing for them. And that is going to keep them on longer. That is something that I didn't do when I first started running ads. I was doing a phenomenal job for this client. His business was growing. He was doing a killer job. Yet I was a college student. I was unaware. I didn't know. I didn't have experience. So I simply didn't contact that client until it came time to get paid. So I would just run his ads, and then when it's time to get paid, I contact him, which created that bad relationship with that client, which every time I would give him a call or text him, he subconsciously knows that I just want to be paid, which is a huge mistake, right? So show face, invest in their business like it's yours, and that is how you win. So the next part is, I said step 5 dash to infinity. These are just things that I feel helped me throughout the journey that I think might be beneficial for you as well. Number 1 is work your ass off. It doesn't matter how smart you work. It doesn't matter how effective your work is. If you're not working hard and sweating for your business, you're likely not going to take off. The next thing is, it's a numbers game. If you're talking to one client a day or one prospect a day, good luck closing a client, right? Especially at the start. You need to be dialing, you need to be on the phone, you need to be knocking doors, you need to be investing every single little thing into your business in order to increase your numbers. That's the only way that your percentages are gonna make sense over time. The third thing is, if you aren't improving, you are losing. Super simple. Every single person in the world wants to make more money in the business realm. And if they're improving and you're not, you're losing, because you're going behind. They're improving, they're becoming better than you. People only want to work with the best or only option to solve their problem, right? Nobody's gonna go work with number 2 if number 1 is the same price. So 1% improvement daily is compounded to 3,778% in only 365 days. Don't believe me? Go use this formula on Google and actually figure it out. So if you start at 100 and you're improving by 1% every single day for 365 days, you end up with 3,700, 3,800% pretty much. So that's the 1% rule. We talk about this all the time, so make sure to go ahead and implement that within your business. The next one is something I learned from my partner Mel, is relentless persistence. You have to really want it. You have to put in the work. You have to desire it more than any other individual on the planet. Like, you really want to make this happen in order to get to 10K a month. This one, relentless persistence, I will even use this to go up to millions of dollars a month, because these are like my friends that are making millions of dollars a month. They have this, and they have this dialed down to a T. So next part is split your sales, marketing, and service delivery. I actually talk about this in my book in a whole chapter. You can actually check it out. It's probably in the description or on Amazon or something like that. But nevertheless, is people mix them. People do sales and marketing and service delivery pretty much. They just bundle them up, they jumble them, and it's like just like bad. It just never works out. So work on each separately, improve 1% on each separately. The next couple things is invest in mentors, invest in coaching. Kind of similar, but I split them. Mentors are people that are not technically working with you on your business. They're just helping you with tips. Coaching is someone that can actually embed themselves into your business, which we do here at Gentech. If you need help with mentorship or coaching, feel free to go down to the proposal page and then just book a meeting. One of our team members will actually take care of you. But nevertheless, you can find coaches and mentors without actually even talking to us. You can contact the successful business owners that you know locally, your parents' friends that are successful business owners, someone that you look up to in this space, maybe DM them on Instagram. Again, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. This applies in this situation as well. No one is going to just come and say, hey, let me be your mentor. No one's going to say, hey, let me be your coach, right? Like, no, you have to actually go after these people. You pick your coaches, you pick your mentors, because again, you want to model off of someone who's already done it before. YouTube has all the answers and none of them at the same time. What I mean by this is, sure, everything is on YouTube, but also most people that are on YouTube are trying to eventually sell some sort of service, and they're keeping the secret sauce, the secret juice for the people who are actually going to pay for their service. And that's where I will tell you that YouTube will only take you so far. If you feel stuck, that's because you're not investing in your business, whether it's time or money, right? So if you do have the money, invest the money. If you have the time, invest the time. If you have both, invest both. The next thing is something that we were talking about actually this week, is support others. Always put the next person first. Always put your prospects first, your team first, and help them reach their goals, because eventually they will help you reach yours. Invest in relationships. Invite your clients to dinners. Invite your prospects to lunches. You know, like, invest in actual relationships. Not everything in business is like suit and tie. Like, this is 2022. Like, if you're actually just trying to be a salesperson and just sell, and not actually build relationships, guess what? People are going to find out, and then no one's going to work with you. So it's that simple. Invest in relationships. Never stop innovating. If Apple has to go and release a brand new phone once a year, even though their phone is probably already good enough, right? Then you can too, right? So go ahead and never stop innovating. The next part is something I never understood at the start, but it's a huge reason for why we grew our business, is
80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your clients, right? So what does that mean? That means 80% of your clients are gonna drive 20% of your revenue. Why do you want to focus on the 80% of your clients that are getting you 20% of your revenue? You simply don't, right? So obviously you want to do a good job, but also it's important to figure out that next point is not every dollar is a good dollar, right? If someone said, hey, I'll pay you $100 for 5 hours of your time, when I first started, that might sound like a good deal and I would have probably taken that. But right now, I'm not taking that. Not because my time is more valuable, but it is. But because I know that the opportunity cost of wasting 5 hours is way greater than $100. So figure out your opportunity cost. Again, it's important not to be super greedy at the start and always have that fluidity, but also, again, just know the boundaries, right? Set certain boundaries for yourself. Be like, okay, this is a deal I would take. This is a deal I would not take. But if you're taking every deal, then guess what? The 80% of your clients that are getting you 20% of your revenue, that 80% is just going to become bigger and it's going to be harder for you to scale. The next part is something that's very important. Toxic business relationships exist. Cut them off, right? You can have friends that are negative towards you. And you can also have clients that are negative towards you. Make sure to set those boundaries. The next part is also something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand is 10% of a watermelon is a lot more than 100% of a cherry, right? Most people are like, I want to be my own business owner. I would never partner with anyone. I would never want to do this. I would never want to do that. Guess what? Sure, you can be successful by yourself, but also if you consider your cherry a success, just think about what 10% of a watermelon is, right? 100% of a cherry is also a business that can just flop overnight. A watermelon is a lot harder to move, right? Like a company like Microsoft is not going anywhere, right? Even if they release a bad product, right? If you do a bad job and you have a cherry, guess what? Your business is done. So again, pick up 10% of a watermelon over 100% of a cherry. If you have the opportunity to partner with someone who has the passion you do, it's going to be much easier for you guys to get to 20K a month than to get to 10K a month by yourself. And I'm guilty of that. So make sure that you are actually utilizing all these tips here that I shared with you. And that should be a very easy roadmap to 10K a month. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. DM us on Instagram, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and check out the new season of the podcast, actually, where we're going to be publishing a lot more episodes in season 2 of the podcast with some of the best, most influential entrepreneurs I've ever met. So again, guys, have a good one.